What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Shooter
McGavin. I do remember that.
Shooter.
Remember what a movie.
Andy, that's my new thing. Booyah's out. Shooter.
Wow. That's a historic moment right there, Andy.
R.I.P. Booyah.
You didn't even include that in the KFAF episode.
I didn't. I forgot.
Which I thought was one of the funniest moments.
No,
of
I put it in.
that.
I didn't put it in.
No, it wasn't in there.
I swear to God, I put it in. You were like, you haven't said booyah in 2020 yet.
Throughout the episode, I kept telling Nick, Nick, fucking stew on that. I said, you know what? Stew on that's going to become my new catchphrase. And Nick said, oh, like I have booyah. And I was like, you haven't said booyah since quarantine started. Fuck off.
Yeah, I don't think has he said it in 2020? I mean, those first 3 months. That's a kind of blur. I don't even know when booyah.
You guys, you can't say a catchphrase over and over again. Okay, you have
no. That's what a catchphrase is.
You can't say it. You can't just do it until people think that's what they don't like. This they make that like association with you. You have to just slide it in occasionally. Get out.
The man in the purple sweatshirt. He's the Hispanic heartthrob, Texas treat, Latino heat, clicking heads and ripping them to shreds. The globetrotting headshot nitro rifle from Twitch.tv, Andy Cortez.
I bought a bunch of Overwatch merch.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
Did you get more chibi figures to put back there? Keep them all in their little boxes back there?
No, I just really liked this hoodie. So that they sell like I think 4
get up and model it for me.
Are...
I've only seen it, like I said earlier, I thought it was a C. I thought your microphone was okay. What's
nice.
going on in the back there?
Nothing on the back, but on the sides it's Widowmaker's sort of like iconography or whatever. They sell they sell a couple of hoodies that are character related. So they sell like, I don't know, a Hanzo one that's kind of like baby blue and it has like a different color here. And I just love shit like that. But this one just really caught my eye. And I bought a little bottle of water since I use a Brita now. Everybody, I use a Brita.
Got a fancy bitch, ladies and gentlemen. Andy Cortez.
Yeah,
I got a Brita little pitcher. I mean, fancy. It was like $20. I don't know.
Are you allowing Barrett to use that?
I mean, it's just there. I assume other people use it. Maybe not because I refill it a lot. What's up?
Quick Brita conversation because I've been using Brita for a while. Not a big deal. I'm just making the world a better place.
You're part of the family. Yeah.
You know they now sell a 6-month one. So the normal one's supposed to last for 3 months. This one lasts twice as long.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's something to look into.
It does go really small. So you might need a big tank.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
It does go really small. What does that mean?
Kind of
really small, really slow, really slow.
I have some Brita questions. I seem to be miseducated on what a Brita is.
Man, why do you look so red, Tim?
I don't know why I'm fucking red. Okay, guys, I'm fucking red. I'm always gonna be red. I don't look red in real life. Well, I look red, not this red. I don't fucking know, man. Jesus. All right.
You look like
I love it that there's no one who would be more offended by that than Tim. You know what I mean? His whole aesthetic, his beautiful home theater, all these neon lights back there, and then every time he steps up, he looks like he got bit by a tomato. Radioactive tomato.
Okay. I was thinking, because Kevin, you were with me on that one. I was like, do tomatoes bite? And if a tomato did bite you, what would be the problem? And then Greg said, we got to add some more layers. A radioactive tomato.
Exactly.
At your foot, like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Exactly. You're right there with me, buddy. You know you.
Now, Tim, I'm gonna suggest that instead of having all purple light around you, put all blue light around you, and it'll balance out the red and wash you out a little bit.
You mean
you
just
could do that
in the background? Because in front of me, everywhere in front of me is just white light.
Just white light.
Well, I feel like the closer you get your face as close as you can to the camera, because I think the white light bounces back. Then it makes you. No, you're still super.
You're a red guy.
Tim, you and I need to trade.
I think he is sunburned because I could see where his hairline is. It's a lot whiter.
Yeah.
Tim, I know for a fact that you were in the sun this weekend.
Are you really?
I wasn't in too much sun though.
You went hiking though. You went hiking.
Yeah, you went a little walk, right?
Not a real hike, all right. Not a real hike like me.
That's an Austin, Texas burn right there, my friend. Remember that time we did Love and Sex stuff in Austin, Texas, and you got burned like the worst I've ever seen.
I got bit by a radioactive lobster that time.
Damn, man, that was brutal.
Wait, what were your questions about the Brita? Because I pulled up images here.
So I have something that looks like that middle row situation going on.
Middle row situation.
Yeah, that's what I have.
This guy?
The middle row.
Yeah, the middle row. Where you put water in, you put it in the fridge, and then it's cold, and you pour it, and whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, what are you talking about? It lasts more months.
The filters.
So the filter. This right here. Oh, well,
It went white.
There's a piece that you pull out.
Ignore that. This
So-
thing goes
If you aren't replacing that, Tim, it's doing nothing.
Got it.
Yeah.
It starts to wear out.
Learning
It's a
something
charcoal
today.
filter. It's got little
I
tiny
didn't-
pieces of charcoal in it that take out the impurities. And if
Interesting.
it only lasts for so long until they say you have to replace that. Now, my personal theory on this is that they can last a lot longer, but they just obviously want to make their money back on those
Big
filters.
Brita.
Yeah, big Brita. But also
Well,
it does
here's-
change the like if you put it in, you'll see a definitive difference in taste to the water.
So you'll-
Exactly.
you'll
Right?
taste
I understand that
and
much
see.
of it. So my understanding of this, which was close but incorrect, is so it must be that Gia is doing this filter change out, and I just had no idea it existed.
If I
But
can
I
throw
always
a quick,
thought-
if
Yes,
I can throw
you
up a quick timeout because we're going to need some chat participation here. A young lass in the YouTube chat watching live because they support us on patreon.com/kindafunny says, Joey says, I'm 99% sure ours is just a pitcher and doesn't have a filter. Joey, I'm going to
Cool.
need you to go grab that picture and bring it downstairs and show it to us. See what we have. Because it was just a glass fucking pitcher.
It might
Totally
be.
open air.
Don't you, Tim? Don't you
But
have
that-
the attachment on your No, you have a filter system on the side, don't you? Yeah,
Yes. My
You-
sink
Nick Scarpino.
your
has a-
sink. Yeah.
Is anyone else picturing one of those plastic just pitchers from Shakey's that you
Yeah.
get the beer in?
Yeah, totally.
I don't know how
nothing
the
in it.
show turned into just me just fucking just getting just destroyed.
It's
Literally, like after what 400 episodes, it's just like I went from being the straight guy to now I'm
Yeah.
just like the defeated freaking like lump. You know,
It sucks, doesn't it, Tim? Welcome to my world.
Oh, so your world, okay.
Yeah.
My
Usually it's
favorite
me and
today-
Kevin that I'm gonna say. Usually me and Kevin take
Yep.
the brunt of
Yep.
this.
We take the
Okay.
brunt of
And
it.
it's
It's Kevin. I was gonna say if we had a thing here where it's like random, it'd be like in college we had a thing called the dial that me and my drunk friends invented, where when you spun it, whoever it landed on had to order a giant pizza and wings for the room or whatever. But we rigged it for the first 3 weeks in existence to
Such a
fall on the
piece of
same
shit.
kid over and over again. And he got so pissed on week 4. Like if we had that, it would always land on Kevin. I think so. It's just an unlucky day that Tim had to get fucking ground down to stone right now.
No. Yeah. All right. So the water's coming in.
Here we go.
Okay,
Cold.
let's see
Not
this.
hot.
Are these the
Oh,
the
so no, there's a
picture?
filter.
Oh, no, there's
well,
a
I
filter in
mean,
that thing.
there might not be anything in it. Look inside. Is there anything
No,
in
that
it?
doesn't.
No,
look,
there has to be a
that
filter.
doesn't
in
look
that.
like there's a filter. That's too small. That doesn't.
There's
have
no
the right
reason
shape.
why you would not have that whole
Why
thing
would
in
you-
there.
yeah,
What's
why
that
would
filter?
you-
Bad
Yeah,
design
that's a
choices,
filter for
you know?
sure.
I don't know.
Open it up.
You know, we're 4 seconds away from it pouring all over his computer. Here, yeah, crack that bitch open.
Oh,
There,
okay.
you
He
just
just
tear it
broke it.
apart.
Yeah, he broke
Gio
that.
buy a new one.
That's-
Gio makes
that's
money.
fine.
I don't
Tim
get
was
it.
like
I don't
holding
know.
Tim was like holding a baby right there, and the baby like needed a pee, and he was like, I don't know if I can take it back. I don't want it. Like, he
Yeah, it's
Get it
squirming.
away
He's
from
like,
me.
I don't like it.
Nick,
get it away from me.
is
So there
this-
is a filter.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Well, what
gotta
I was
be.
trying to explain earlier is like
Say
I
hi to
thought
Joey
that
for me.
I didn't. Hi, Joey. Greg says I didn't realize that like because this contraption, I imagine it just kind of had like I thought it was a physical filter. Like I didn't realize there was charcoal and all this other shit going on. So I always thought it was just you put water in and it like would drain out. You know, like the little playground when you'd like have your little toys.
Yeah,
and shit and
the-
build
like
a
the
sandcastle.
screen.
Yeah,
Little
I thought it was
screen,
just like that. I didn't realize you had to like change it. So I'm learning a lot here, guys.
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
Really,
It's
Yeah,
like a
the
coffee.
Brit-
It's like a coffee filter or any other thing that has something. You know, after a while, the filter just loses efficiency.
The Brita on top has a little button with 3 lights, and it's probably I'm assuming the next light's going to be yellow. Is if I'm
You're right.
if I'm a
Yep.
guessing man, it's a green light. And it's probably going to turn yellow. It's probably going to turn red. But you hold the button when you start using the filter, and then it just sort of times out how long it's good for. So mine should probably be turning yellow in like maybe a month or something like that. But man, I'll tell you what, my recycling has gone down a huge amount because I used to just get a lot of bottles of water
Really?
and I was wasting and wasting
Yeah.
and wasting and wasting. Yeah.
Now you have your nitro rifle there, Overwatch bottle,
Yeah, my
and
little
your
Overwatch
filter. You're all
really
set to
happy
go.
about it. Uh-huh.
Andy,
I
how
don't-
often do you think you refill that bad boy?
This thing?
No. The actual Brita filter.
Well, that thing too, though, because that does look like a small water bottle.
Yeah,
You
no,
know what
you're
I mean?
refilling.
Oh,
that
how
bunch.
I feel
long
like,
do
I
I
feel like
re-
you could have. I feel like
Wait,
you
wait.
could have gone to kindafunny.com/store and
Oh,
gotten
there's
our
a
water
big one
bottle
there.
there.
Yeah, this was definitely small than I thought it would be. Because what I was thinking of, I put in Slack and nobody responded, which is totally fun. But I put, hey, has anybody seen my PlayStation thermos that we got a PSX that one year? Remember?
All right.
That really
First
nice-
off, full timeout. What do you if I, in that with that kind of phrasing of the question? If I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, why would I do you need me to say no? Isn't my silence implied that I didn't see it?
You got
No,
it.
just
Andy.
just one person going like, I was there. I didn't look for it. Okay, no problem.
No,
Not
Andy,
to mention, I would have thought like a thermos like you got in your lunchbox as a kid with this top and all that stuff. I wouldn't have thought it. I would have called that a water bottle, your PlayStation water
What's up,
bottle.
Nick?
I wanted you to know that I had a dynamite response for that, but it just didn't. You know how sometimes you feel the Slack conversation and it's like you don't want a Nick response to this today. It's one of those things. But you said,
do you remember what it was, Nick?
Yeah, it's anyway. You said, has anyone seen my my black PlayStation mug? And I said no, but I've seen one that's like kind of light brown, but in certain light looks black. And then I said dot. See how it feels, Andy. See how it feels.
For hair, like
your
a
hair. Yeah.
Wait, what I'd like to point out, though,
too many.
That's
what
funny.
I'd like to point out is that Nick looked off screen and read that.
Yeah,
Is that in a draft or something?
it did look that way.
Did it?
Yeah, it looked
You
like you
guys-
had it
you
like
guys
written
didn't
like,
hear.
and I said ...
I'm gonna fucking
da, da, da.
get him.
Like I feel as if like Nick has his own producer and he's like, oh, and Frank, can you pull that up for me, Frank? Can you pull up that quote I had earlier?
No, it's funny because depending on where you guys are, sometimes you guys swear to God I'm looking offline like typing things. I'm not. I just have you down here instead. So like I'll have Discord on my second screen, and I have to remember to put it back up here close to where my eye line is, but it's never perfect.
Kevin, so you asked me how often I have to refill it. What do you mean by that?
Like the Brita. What do you got? You got a jug? You got a vase? What are we looking at? Because I gotta see. Well, because I was gonna say
It's a big picture. It's a big picture.
Okay, yeah, I got the big square one, right?
Yeah.
Tim's
So
gonna fucking
how
lose it
often
on
do
us.
you refill it? Because I refill
Like,
mine like 4 or 5 times a day. That's how much water I'm chugging over here.
Yeah, mine is about, I'd say, like 2 to 3 times a day, I'd say. Around there.
I had a friend once that used to keep the Brita picture out in her living room. And so like when we would go visit, she would just have it there. And I was like,
What
that's
the
a
fuck? Just
smart idea.
lukewarm water?
Yeah, but
Fuck
it
that.
incentivizes you to always be drinking water. Because I
I
think
mean,
to
I
myself
always drink
sometimes-
water because I like water.
Yeah,
don't need to
I
be
like water too,
incentivized.
but the problem
No,
is
a lot of
this,
people struggle to drink.
whenever I think to myself, oh, I should get up and get a glass of water. I get up, I go to the fridge, I open it up. It's the first thing I see, Coke Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Well,
the fuck would I choose water when I can have Coke Zero?
You gotta
Easy.
take the temptation out of there. You gotta put the devil away. Put the devil
Kevin,
away.
I drank all 6 of them today, and
Oh my God.
I might go to Target later and get more.
See, the thing is, I don't mind kind of room temperature water because it's always really cool in my room, and plus the general cups like this will keep it cold anyway, and so I kind of like the vibe of that temperature. I think when it's too cold, it's a little too frosty, a little too
Yeah,
frosty.
hurts you. It hurts going
I
down.
want him to hurt.
Back in the day, and this
Greg,
is
thank
gonna
you for
involve-
responding to this thread, by the way.
No problem. What I want you guys to understand is you're going to know 2 players in this play you're about to be told. All right.
Oh,
Number
man.
1, of course, Poe. You've met Poe, my best friend. Everybody's heard of him before. And then, of course, number 1 crane operator, Greg Miller, my father. Back in the day, we were home from college and we were at the house. And believe it or not, Poe used to be NCAA runner out there all the time, cross country track, doing all that jazz. And so he ran from his house to our house to hang out. And so he gets there and he's just drenched in sweat and he's got his shirt off and he had abs and shit. And he's like all like fucking dying. And my dad's like, oh, let me get you water. And he went and got Poe a bottle of water from the fridge, and it was ice cold, of course, because it was in the fridge. And Pat was drinking it. And for some reason, my dad and Poe started talking about water, at which point Poe was like, thank you for the water, Mr. Miller. And they're going, he's like, did you know that actually at track meets, they don't give you ice water. They give you room temperature water because it's quicker for your body to absorb it rather than having to heat it up and put it in your system and all this jazz. Hold on, Kev, before any science with Kev comes in.
It's fine.
Okay. And my dad was like, oh, that's interesting. And then for the rest of his life owning that house, my dad wouldn't put bottles of water in the fridge. He would just leave them out next to the fridge, not understanding that, like, no, Dad, like when we just come in, when we're just hanging out in the house, it's not like I'm so dehydrated. I need the water as fast as possible into my muscle.
That's fucking hilarious.
That's great.
That's funny.
So your dad, Greg Miller.
Yeah.
Was there ever a conversation? And I can't believe I've known you as long as I have, and I haven't asked this. Like, where does Junior come into play?
The way I had it explained to me, and I have Kevin, this is something I'll need science with Kevin on, all right, is that a junior would be the exact same name. And I guess Fran then is technically it's like Fran's whoever he's named after would be
Fran
junior,
Michael.
right?
Well, so
Fran's
Junior-
dad was the junior, right?
from my understanding,
Yeah,
Junior is just if you share the same name as your father, Where you get the first and second is if the name is exactly the same, including middle name.
Interesting. No, the way I had it explained to me the middle name being the key, where my dad has a different middle name and his dad has a different middle name. We're all Greg Miller, but we just have different.
Hold on.
I'll tell you what.
His dad's also. You're Greg the third.
That's right.
Greg
I could be
right?
Greg FM
Underscore.
Wait, no, Greg
Hold on, but no,
FM
the second's
underscore
not
the
a
third.
thing, Kevin. You just brought that up.
No, the second is a thing.
isn't it?
Tim, think about it. Queen Elizabeth II. You're such an idiot. God, I hate
No,
you.
but like that the fucking like that.
What do you mean? That's where those
Well,
numbers
this
come
is-
from.
This is gonna sound crazy, but do they? This is actually a legit question. Do you call if it's a girl's name? Do you call her Junior?
I mean, you
They don't
can.
do they do this
That's
with
a great
girls'
question.
names? Am I crazy? Have I never met a girl who has the same name or like a woman who has the same name as her mother?
I don't think anyone ever has.
I think that's illegal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy shit!
you're not
We're
allowed to.
breaking some boundaries here, man.
That's crazy. Because I don't. Is that a thing? Am I making this up?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm shocked right now because I'm going through
That's a great point.
the
Yeah, I've
Rolodex
never
of my head and names, and I'm not
Nick.
seeing a single one.
Is a sofa for one person just a chair?
Yes.
God damn, you'll have to watch
Guys,
KFAF this week.
Look, look. So this is interesting. Googling
Booyah,
it.
Andy.
According to ktk985.radio.com, Junior means the child is named after a parent. It does not matter if the middle name is included.
Okay.
The second
That's what I
indicates the
said.
exact same name was used previously by someone in the family, but it does not need to be their parent.
That's what I said. It's
Oh.
the exact same name.
Well,
And
no,
yes,
he's
sorry,
not
it doesn't
saying
have
it's
to
the
be. It
exact
doesn't have
same
to be
name,
the
yeah.
parent. Sure. So like,
So basically, if your grandfather was named Kevin and your dad skipped it, but you were Kevin, you could be Kevin the second.
well, the middle name
not
has to be the
Kevin
same
Jr..
too. So it would be like a
Does it have to be the same?
cool. Yes, he just said that, right?
No,
What?
he didn't
Now
say
check
that.
this out.
No?
Check this out.
He
check
said
this out.
that
What-
the name has to be the same as someone. He didn't say exactly the same. Can you read that again?
Exactly
when-
Tim? Oh, it has to be exactly the same. Okay, I
Okay.
apologize.
The
Yeah.
second
So I
has to
was-
be exactly the same, including the middle name.
So I was
But it
right.
could be a cousin or a grandparent.
So Greg Miller is in fact a junior, but is not a third. Thank you very much.
Because you have different middle names.
And I
Yeah, we all
know
have
this
different
because
middle
I've looked it up multiple times because of one Fran Michael Mirabella III.
On mentalfloss.com, they're confirming what we're reading, but they also add this. Women can also have the suffixes, junior and second, but it's not as common, most likely because women historically took a new last name when they got married, negating the junior or second distinction. However, the daughter of fashion designer Carolina Herrera still
Herrera,
goes by
yeah.
Carolina Jr., even though she has taken her husband's last name.
That's crazy. I have like in my life, I've never met a woman who has a junior in her name. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
don't have a
actually
middle-
legitimately
I don't
until I
have a
asked that
middle
question, I just didn't think it was legal. I didn't think it was possible. I
Andy,
was
are
like,
you
look, be able to do
sure?
it.
Andy, are you sure you don't have a middle name?
I promise you, I'm sure I have my birth certificate. Yeah, my
So-
brother
Can we see
does.
it?
What I'm seeing here, Greg counts as the third. It's a
No,
different
that's not
type
how
of
it
the
works.
third.
That's not how it works.
When a
'Cause
man is
it's
named
the
after
middle.
his father, who is a junior, he is then the third.
Right, but they
Ooh.
don't
But
have the
his-
same middle name. You said it has to be the
No,
exact
it has
same
to be
name.
the
No,
exact
no, no,
same
no.
name.
No, exact same name is only for the first, second, third, fourth, fifth thing. When you go from junior to third, there's the two different trails, guys.
No,
I
no.
wish
got
I
a
had picked
whiteboard.
up the whiteboard. I wish I
He's
picked
got a
up the
fucking
whiteboard already.
whiteboard.
for
You didn't
Blessing.
pick it up?
No, he brought it when we took photos of shirtless Spider-Man and shirtless Miles Morales
Right,
when we
right.
were taking the photos. But he forgot to tell me, and I forgot to ask, and it just sat in his car.
So
guys are
Tim,
bad at your
really
jobs.
quick, you're saying there's two lines you can go. One, it just has an I. The other one has a junior, and then from the I you go down, and then you've got the two, and then just the junior also has the two. That doesn't make sense.
Junior then
Nicholas,
turns to three.
the junior. What?
I think,
If
guys,
you listen to me for 1 second,
we should take
Everybody
a vote.
shut up and
extremely
listen
clear.
to Tim.
Andy,
on
right
one
your wall.
line,
Nick, I begged you to shut up.
That was a funny joke.
if there's a kid named after the parent, doesn't need to have the exact middle name, they are a junior. That's what this is saying.
Right.
Okay.
If
So
they have the
technically my
exact
father would've
same
been a
name,
junior.
yes. And then if there's another one after that, it turns to the third.
So we skip it. We get to skip
Okay.
around it, is what you're saying.
You skip
basically.
from junior to
Okay.
third.
So what you're saying is that's one chain or one tree. The other
Yes.
tree is if your name is exactly the same as your dad's, you're the second. And then
Yes.
if your name, and then the next one's the third, no matter what.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be your dad. It could be anybody in your family from
Right. And
way
that's
back.
why they have the lineage of like kings, for instance.
Exactly.
You get to pick the name, or Pope. You get to pick your own name. And then if you're like Pope John Paul, whatever, you just got to be like, I'm the 19th.
It was the
First,
second.
I can't remember.
Pope
Was he the
John Paul
second?
the second, yeah.
What would I be? No, so I would be the third if they
Yes,
nominated me
yeah,
Pope,
yeah.
and then I'd be the third. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
close, I hear.
So is Pamplemousse?
I'm in the running, man. Me and yeah.
No, because he's
I don't know
named
who Pope is
after
right now.
a drink, right?
Who's the Pope right now?
No, but Pamplemousse's middle name is Andres.
It is.
What?
Which middle names I don't think count because then it's the middle name is the second. That-
Wait, your dog has a middle name?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's Andres. Gia named it
Most
after him.
dogs do, Nick.
Did you guys at any point consider Nick as a middle name, or was that just not even on the table? Like, or was that close?
It's
I
always
don't even
been him.
want to tell you the truth that
I don't like to know
this
the
was a conversation that I was like, both Nick and Kevin are going to give shit to this.
Yeah, 100%.
I
And
couldn't
just-
give a shit. Fuck that dog. That's what I've always said.
Wow. There
exactly.
it is. You know?
Anyway, Andy, you're welcome. Or not you're welcome. Like, thank you. I should be thanking you for a dope name.
Pamplemousse
And
Andres.
for looking like a
Yeah,
Pomeranian.
All right, now I care. I just
Yeah,
all that praise turned me back on.
I want that praise too. I'm sorry, Tim. You have no choice. You have to get two other dogs and
Okay.
put the middle names as Nick and Kevin now.
Nick and Kevin. Great.
But one of them couldn't be if it's related to Pamplemousse to Moose. It can be the second if you want it to be, but just different middle names.
I appreciate this chat comment here from Chance Carter. Is Greg Jr. going to be friends with Paul Apollo? Rimothy, Paula, and Greg Jr. hanging out, rolling to the mall.
Oh, I had
Gonna
one
make
more
it a
thing to
double
add.
feature.
Do you guys know that Fran was almost Fran Michael Mirabella the seventh?
What's he
Yeah,
Why
I
do
got
you
lost.
keep
I
saying
got
his
lost.
name, Kevin, if you can't say it?
I don't know,
This
man.
is the,
But it,
this is
there's
the
a
first
different
time
triangle.
today
Huh?
that it just goes friends of well,
Well,
Tim,
because I
Michael's a
hear
hard
my
name to say.
echo is the problem, and for whatever
Oh,
reason,
okay.
my headphones randomly will switch to a more delayed echo, and then so I'll be mid sentence, and all of a sudden it'll be like mid sentences.
That is annoying.
It's happening
Wait,
there.
had to happen.
I'm sorry. Can we go back for a second? Because you said his name is Fran Michael Mirabella, but why would he be the seventh and not the third?
Because one of his like previous descendants, so I guess right before when they started the count, right? So great grandfather.
So somebody
There's a
somewhere
break
in
in
there
the chain.
fucked it up.
Yeah, there was a break in the
Okay.
change where they like decided that it's Francis instead
I'm
of
guessing
Frankie.
that was
or
his
something.
great grandfather. Was
Yeah.
the break? Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to call him. We're gonna have to get the full breakdown, Greg.
By the way, Fran
All
Michael
right, Tim,
is
do
such
it.
a
Give him
great.
a call because I have a
I don't,
question.
I don't-
Can
You
you
know
imagine? Wait, hold on. Can you imagine Fran trying to explain his family lineage and how long that would take?
That's it. That's why I want it.
That's the rest
But I
of
don't
this
want to hold
episode.
the phone up. It's too much.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. That does make sense.
And also,
No.
Tim Gettys is on this show, and this
Kevin,
is the kind of podcast.
Kevin, here's what I want you to do. All right, are you listening, Kevin?
Yep. I'm sorry. I'm right here.
Just don't freak out. All right. I'm just blind adding Fran to the Discord group.
I got it.
All right, there he is. So, all right. Oh, you
wait,
are
hold on,
there.
Hold on.
Is he
hold on.
here?
Well,
Is
then
it-
no.
do we
Kevin,
know
I
if
guess to
Fran's
ring him
available?
or something. I don't know how that
No,
works. He's,
I have
he's
to
showing
ringing right now.
hide
Uh-oh.
him.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
stuff's
hold on.
happening.
Oh, now
Something's
it's all
happening.
fucked up. Great.
I hear him. I hear
Something's
something happening.
If he connects, it'll
Wait, can you
fix
hear me?
it. So,
Yeah, we can, Fran. Hey, how are
tell
you?
him that we need a video feed.
Oh,
Fran, you need a video
Dude, I
feed,
don't-
and you're also live on the Kind of Funny podcast. Just a heads
beautiful.
up.
My camera's not. I don't know, man. My hair's not done. What are you doing? to me? I can't do it.
All right. Don't worry about it. We don't need it. We have your little image there. It's fine. We need, so it's been revealed here live on the Kind of Funny podcast, patreon.com/kindoffunny, that I am actually a third if I wanted to be. Like, I'm the third Greg Miller in the chain here, which then, of course, Kevin tried to
You're-
give us.
Your
Sorry, go
name?
Yeah, that's right.
Like Greg the Third. Okay.
I'm not, but I could be technically, right? That's what we decided because my
Anybody
grandfather,
could be,
Greg
but-
Miller, my
but you
dad, Greg
are.
Miller, I'm Greg Miller. Yeah, exactly. I am.
Okay.
So the question then, Kevin came up and tried to tell us your lineage, but he stumbled at getting through your name, just in general, just saying your name. So he's trying to tell us you could be the seventh if you wanted to be.
Me? What? He's making that up. But he might be remembering something. Do you really want me to tell you to like?
Yes.
just to-
Fran,
It'll be.
I'm not making anything up. You told me that somebody changed their name along the line of your family, and
Yeah,
that
that's true.
derailed it. And you, like, had they not, you would be the seventh. So it doesn't sound like I'm
Actually,
making up shit.
It's actually-
I miss
you know
you,
what?
Fran.
He's only exaggerating a little, but not like 7. I don't know past actually.
That's what he
like-
told me. That's what he told me.
Yeah.
He was pretty drunk though.
It was my great-great-grandfather that was Francesco. That's what I talk about. So my great-great-grandfather was Francesco Mirabella, right?
Yeah.
He named his son Stephen, and this is all in Italy, so I don't know how that happened. But I don't know. It's probably a patron saint of something, right, Nick?
Sure.
It's
Probably.
gotta be.
They're all saints. Every name
Exactly.
is a saint.
So he named his
This
son.
is like the patron saint of like Rosemary or some weird shit like that.
Yeah. And then he named his son Stephen. Stephen was my great-grandfather, named my grandfather, Francis Michael Mirabella. And then, of course, he was senior. He goes by Frank. Named my dad Fran Jr., of course. Same name, Francis Michael Mirabella. And then I was the third. And then when we're all in the same house, and that's the other important thing to remember. See, I'm Fran Michael. And there was actually a brief moment when I moved out here that people were asking me what my name is. And I remember telling somebody in PR, I think it was somebody at Ubisoft. And I was like, I go by Fran Michael back home, and this is like right when I got out here. And I was like, I don't
You
think
like
that's
got
a
off
good.
the bus, bags in hand.
Yeah,
The baby person's like, "What do you call yourself, son?"
The idea of
Fran
saying
Michael.
like,
We gotta shorten that up. You're Fran.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, do you guys agree? Like, should I have just gone by Fran Michael or?
No, that's weird.
No.
Yeah, but see, I'm Fran, and I had a complex about that because I'd be sending emails, and I actually once got a call at IGN 2 that they got confused because this girl, Fran Reyes, worked at it was PC Mag or Next Gen or something like that, and they called me. I'm like, wait, this is Fran. They're like, this isn't Fran. I'm like, this is Fran, and they were looking for Fran Reyes from like another mag. Yep.
That happened.
Wait, so how many would have been in the chain if Steven didn't fuck it up?
So to answer that question, I guess I would have been the fifth for sure. I don't know past him. So technically, Kevin could be right. I will say that.
Could you
He
call
could be
your
right.
mom or grandma or
Are they on
father?
Discord? What are their Discord names?
my grandma wouldn't remember. I tell you what, I have my ancestry.com, and I'm gonna look into this issue because you make a good point. Maybe we just we sort of forget about Steven, and we could just compress it, and then I could at least be like a 6th or 7th,
Yeah, totally.
All right.
All right, thanks, Fran.
Thank you,
I
Fran.
love you guys. Miss y'all.
Love you too. We miss you too.
Bye.
So now, Andy, we've already talked about, of course, at Extra Life this year, you're trying mac and cheese if we hit a certain fundraising goal. Maybe we'll do it in January. Sorry, I forget which one it was. Thank you for correcting me.
No, we never said anything like that.
The next thing to put on the thermometer for January fundraising, right, is simple. You get to pick Andy's middle name.
No.
Andy. Come on, Andy.
Andy, be a team player.
Andy,
Cool Greg
you
was
could
going to
be
change his name
danger
to Cool Greg, but he's
or
a
trouble.
felon. Like, damn.
Yeah, well.
Turns up. Can't.
No,
Miller,
not a chance. You're
Miller,
a chance.
quick proposal here. What if, because if we're going to have Andy try mac and cheese, I feel like he should try the best mac and cheese. In which case, I feel like we have to put together a team of people to find it. You know what I mean?
Sure, that's
Find
fine.
the best mac and cheese. I'm talking about having Kind of Funny pay for us to go to multiple restaurants where we eat mac and cheese. What do you think, bud?
That's you and me, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I'm
Joey
in
can
for
come
this,
too.
And it should be a show. Kevin and Greg eat mac and cheese.
Sounds good.
All right, good. There we go. We're off and running it.
I want Andy. So what I want from you is, sorry, I wasn't listening to that ridiculous conversation because I've been thinking about a great middle name for you that could be your stage name, and I think you need to have 2 first names. Do you know what I mean? Like right now, you're Andy Cortez. That's a great definitive first and last name. But what if you were Andy?
Here, I'm gonna get to the end of this.
Blank.
He's gonna name
what
you
I'm saying?
Andy Mandy or something. It's gonna be the same thing.
I'm not. I'm just trying to figure out a cool middle name that could be like Fran Michael. You know what I'm saying? Like one boom boom.
I thought you.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna just go Andy.
What about
In a
what about
typical
like
Paula fashion.
Andy Handy.
what about like Jaeger?
But that's not
Andy Yeager.
Yeah, something like that.
That's cool as ice. That's a last name though. You can't. Yeager's not a first name. Andy Cade Yeager.
Wait,
Cortez.
Andy
Oh, there we
Yeager
go.
Cortez sounds really cool.
Andy Yeager. I
Cade
feel like
Yeager.
it needs to be a first name that starts with a D, because you got
Dick.
that. You'll
should
get
be
that like
Dick.
Andy Dillon.
Oh, no.
What's your name? Andy Dick. Andy Dick Cortez.
Andy, and then we can switch over. Then you can just go by ADC.
Oh, that's cool.
ADC is
Yeah.
pretty cool. ADC is
Wait,
kind of neat.
it needs to be ABC, right?
No,
Andy
that's already
Cortez.
a thing. You know what I mean? Like somebody,
Andy
like
Bartholomew
the alphabet
Cortez.
owns that.
Bartholomew. I like that.
Yeah, but
Bartholomew.
this could be ABC.
Do you miss having a middle name?
Bukakis?
Bukakis, which is by the way a combination of Dukakis
and Dukakis. Never forget Michael Dukakis.
Michael Dukakis, man.
Just fucking in that tank, doing everything wrong.
Was he related to the actress with the last name Dukakis? Isn't there an Olivia
Dukakis?
Is that her name? Was she in Steel Magnolias? I wonder if they're related. I'm gonna look that
This
up.
is
No
the
one else
Kind
does.
of Funny podcast.
Rounding out our quartet, it's Forbes 30 under 30, aka the second best baby blues in San Francisco, aka the engaged one at Tim Gettys.
Not Tim Host.
How you doing?
I'm great.
Did we turn it around? Because you were taking it pretty hard in the front.
We're turning around. It's all good. We're back, baby.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, usually four best friends gather around this table, each bringing their lives to talk to you about them. If you like fucking around with us, we like fucking around with you. Go to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can write into the show. You can get the show ad free. You can watch it live, just like Allie is, Mark is, Enigmatic One is, and the Lou is. So many people in there having a great time. You could be one of them. Patreon.com/kindoffunny. Thank you for your support. Remember, you get an exclusive post show over there too. You could get your names read in the Patreon producer segment, just like Mohammed, Kieran O'Donnell, Steve Powers, Julian the Gluten-Free Gamer, Delaney Twinning, Lee Polero, Blackjack, Mike Moreno, Christian Figueredo, Stevie Combs. Go ahead, Andy.
Figueredo.
Sorry, I try the best I can. All right, I just barrel through it. You know what I mean?
He DM'd me and was like, "You actually did it correctly." I was like, "Thank you." Because what was weird is the first time I corrected you and said, "I think it's Figueredo," and then I saw him comment, "They butchered my name." I was like, "What do you mean? I butchered it too? Then what could it possibly be?" But it turns out I got it correct. Figueredo.
If you have no bucks to toss our way, it's no big deal. You can go to youtube.com/kindoffunny, roosterteeth.com, and podcast services around the globe each and every week to see what the fuck we're fucking around doing this time. Ain't that right, Kev?
Yeah.
Today we're brought to you by Lumen Skin and Hims, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, Nick Scarpino has his hand raised.
Just a quick update on it is Olympia Dukakis.
Olympia.
Yeah, like Olympiad. Olympia.
Okay, I thought it was Olivia.
I always thought the way you just said Olivia, but I was like, that doesn't sound right. So I looked that up. Olympia. And she has a brother named Apollo, which is cool shit.
That is awesome.
But she is the cousin, it turns out, of Michael Dukakis, former governor of Massachusetts and the Democratic nominee for president in 1988. So that's quite an illustrious family she has there.
How much do you love Steel Magnolias?
Fuck, man. That movie's so good. It breaks my heart. I can't watch it anymore.
It's a movie.
I bought it.
I thought it was a
It's
show.
movie. Oh, no.
No,
Well,
so
it might be too. Are you thinking of Designing Women, maybe? But yeah, there's definitely.
There's a couple things you might be thinking of. One is, well, no, that was a movie as well, because Magnolia was a movie as well with Tom Cruise.
No, I know that.
No, this is.
I always thought Steel Magnolias was sort of a show like Silk Stockings or something like that.
No, it was a movie with a great cast. It had like Sally Field, Olympia Dukakis, I think was
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. Was Dolly Parton in it? No,
Dolly Parton was in it. Yeah, she ran the beauty salon.
Boutique. Yeah, and it was about it's just a character.
The woman
Tom
from
Skerritt
Splash.
Daryl Hannah was in it.
Daryl Hannah's in it. Yes.
Oh man,
you got to go back and watch it, man. I bought it on Amazon a while back because I was like, we always have those fun things where you bring up a touchstone movie from childhood / the 80s or whatever to Jen, like, you know what I'm talking about. And then of course, no, you fucking spoke French forever and ever and ever, so you don't know what I'm talking about at all. So we'll watch this movie, and then I put it on, and of course, Joey Noel, when I was like showing Jen Steel Magnolias for the first time, Joey pops in and was like, "Oof. Pretty heavy for a Tuesday night, huh?" And I was like, oh, I guess it is. It does go places that aren't happy. In fact, that's the entire movie.
We've been doing the same thing in my household just to kind of stay sane. Because normally, like I'll do the thing where we're on Netflix or whatever, and I'll just blade through, adding endless things to my watch list and never actually wanting to go back and watch them. I just want to remember that I watched them and that they're there, and that makes me happy. But lately, Dee's been like, here's what I want you to do. You know so much about these obscure 80s movies that I never saw. I just want to watch one like every couple days. Whenever we're ready to sit down, you just pick one and we're going to watch it. And I just want you to tell me about it. And like, I'll read the trivia and talk to her about it. And she just has been loving it. It's like the other day we watched.
This is like, your dream.
Oh, it's amazing, because now I feel like I have an excuse to watch all of those. Like, really, I mean, to me, they're not obscure, because I'm sure all of our audiences have seen most of them if they're around my age. But to her, she's like, wait, I kind of remember that movie. And then I'll go back and show her. And sometimes she loves it. And sometimes she's like, this is not good. This, like, we tried watching Dick Tracy the other day. Ooh. And I was like, do you remember this movie? It's so good. It's like, I remember it being like I remember it being as good as like the '89 Batman, because I was like, oh, it's got Danny Elfman did the score and it's Warren Beatty. It's not a good movie. It does not hold up. We watched Death Becomes Her and Dick Tracy in the same night. And Death Becomes Her, I was like, oh, this is an interesting, not great, but interesting movie and at least fun to watch. But man, we started watching Dick Tracy. I was like, whoa, for the first time in my life, feel what it's like to be my dad. And have someone make me watch this for like a second time and be like, no, I don't want to. I can't sit through this abomination of a film again.
No, we've been doing the same thing, and not with like hey, this is exactly what we're doing and why we're doing kind of thing, but it is taking way more shots because like obviously I quarantine. What are you gonna do? Like we're home all the time now, and so at night taking more shots on stuff that I'm like I've always wanted to watch this as an adult. Like we put on Indecent Proposal a couple like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
That's a hard one to watch too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, especially because it's just like so many of these movies are products of their time that just don't hold up anymore. You're like, what? They was like, fuck the guy, take the money. What are you talking about? Who cares? Get out all your problems and shit. But it's like that. And then we put on the other day St. Elmo's Fire, which I've never sat down and watched all the way through. And we bounced on that early because it was just like, these people all suck. This is full of shitty roles. It's like, not performances, but roles. We watched Footloose. Like that was the other thing too.
Yeah,
Footloose still holds up. So awesome. Great.
It's so fun to go when you actually find one that holds up. You're like, good.
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't speak bad about Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy is actually a beautiful movie to watch from an aesthetic standpoint, and so it's called an abomination. That's a really harsh criticism of it. It just is very, very. It's a lot lighter on story than I thought it was, but it's still a fun kind of kids movie. But yeah, we went back. I think it's actually it is on homework for a screencast this week. We went back and watched The Witches at Eastwick, which is on. Do you remember that one?
I do.
It's totally different than I remember. It's Jack Nicholson. It's got Cher. The main cast is Cher, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Susan Sarandon.
I was totally thinking of a different one.
Oh yeah, they play these just three best friends that like when they're together, weird stuff happens, and then Jack Nicholson comes into town and he's like this other kind of, he's like, they're witches and he's kind of a warlock / maybe something crazier, and just all sorts of crazy stuff happens. But I remember it was fascinating because I remember it being like this fun, like, oh, kind of cool, like 80s story about witches. And apparently this is one, you'll probably appreciate this, Greg. This is definitely one that I've never seen not on basic television.
Sure.
Because I watched this movie and I was like, oh my God, this is way more sexual and way more inappropriate than I remember it being at times. Like Jack Nicholson's character is just so off the rails. And I'm like, I don't remember it being like this, like perverse. But watching it toward the end, I was like, it was well directed. It was actually directed by the guy that did Mad Max. It was his second film, which is pretty crazy.
I started watching Nathan For You based on Andy recommending it for the first time ever. Watched a whole season in a night. Nick, you got to do it.
Okay,
Greg, I'm telling you, Andy's right. You got to trust this Andy kid. This fucking show is brilliant. And like, have you guys heard the pitch of it? Because Andy, every time he's talked about it, it made it sound more just like man on the streety type stuff. But Andy, give the pitch to Nathan For You.
So
Nathan Andy's just like it's man on the street style stuff.
Nathan Fielder. So think Kitchen Nightmares, but for small businesses that need help and improving their business or whatever. So Nathan Fielder poses as, I'm a TV guy by the name of Nathan Fielder, and I went to business school in Canada, so I'm an expert on this shit. But he's also a genuinely hilarious person. And he goes to small businesses that say, hey, we need help. We need a kind of kick in the butt. We need a boost right now because times are tough right now. We're not selling enough of blah, 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 or whatever. So he offers them advice, and it's always terrible advice, but it makes for great TV because they think it's all real. He's surrounded by real people all the time.
But
what's up, Kev?
Doesn't it have segments that are fake, like peppered in? Yeah, like when they're being interviewed by the one of the people that is helping them is like a turtle, on the phone.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that's not.
Oh yeah, that's like dumb stuff.
And like they have random like actors, not like big actors, but like
no. But when they have actors, they say it's an actor. Like, they make it clear that like this guy's an actor, everyone else is not.
Yeah, they make it clear. So the people trying to get there. Kevin's always been against this whole.
It's just, it's when you put like when the whole like idea of the thing is like, hey, we're gonna have like this fake person having a solution with real people, and then they have fake segments that like are totally fake. It just makes me feel like parts of it are scripted or.
I mean, they don't have segments that are totally fake. There's always like an element that is real.
And people think that this is like his actual solution to stuff.
But is he he's trolling these people though, right?
Yeah. Like, here's an example of something that he does is he just always takes it as far as possible. So he's trying to help this real estate lady sell more houses. So he's like, you need to have a unique take on selling houses. People are scared of ghosts. You need to make it 100% clear that the house you're selling has no ghosts, and that'll upsell the value of it. So like they then get a like psychic ghost dude to come in.
That's funny.
To check out the houses. And he's like, no ghost here. We're looking good. Everything's fine. And so they go on to sell the house, and like they're like, one of the selling points, there's no ghost. And then like they sell it, and it's great. They go to the next house, and he's like, definitely a ghost here. We got to tell you about it.
I'm getting some dark spirits in here, and the lady's like, "Oh my god!" But the medium is a real medium.
Exactly,
he's an actual medium that it's obviously it's all fake bullshit. But this guy legitimately thinks that he could sense spirits around him, and so he's in this house. He's like, "Yeah, there's a lot of dark energy in here." And the woman who is trying to improve her realty is just like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." And then there's people they're trying to sell houses to. And
so they're all real.
Bonkers.
So that's the thing is like there's this real estate lady that's trying to make a better business, believing Nathan's plan of you got to do this ghost thing, and she's all in. So then they get this ghost whisperer guy to come in, and he's taking the shit serious, like super seriously. And the moment he's like, "There's some dark spirits," she buys it too, and they're like, "Oh shit, what are we gonna do?" And then Nathan's like, "We got to get an exorcist." So then they get an exorcist, a guy that like really believes he's an exorcist, to come in, and it's just like. Nathan's just sitting there taking it all so seriously as you just see these three now real people interacting with each other. And it's fucking hilarious.
And so that lady eventually goes on to, you could find her Twitter account, Tim. She it gets to the point where she wants to make a reality show called The Ghost Realtor. And it's her and the medium that both met each other, and they try to sell this reality show to other networks that like, we're the ghost, I'm the ghost lady, and blah blah blah. And like she has a Twitter account that is kind of like, hey, this is the show we're trying to sell or whatever. Like that's how far the show went. But it's just so great. It's so great watching Nathan Fielder in his absolutely deadpan, awkward humor, just kind of not trying to break, because there's times where he wants to laugh, and you can tell that it's just like, how is he in this situation right now?
Every episode has like 3 different scenarios. And like, there's 2 more that I want to bring to this table right now. One that I thought was just so simple and so just brilliant was this gas station one, where this gas station wasn't getting enough attention compared to the Chevrolet or the what's it called, Chevrons and 76s and stuff. So like, we need to try something different. And they're like, we need to try a rebate. You're going to sell gas for $1.76. People are going to be lining up, but they'll get a rebate for that 176. That's in the fine print. So people like. So many cars start coming, and they're just like ordering the shit, and they're like, "Oh yeah, what about the rebate?" They're like, "Okay, well, it's not a mail-in rebate. The fine print, as you can read and you can see here, you need to go drop it off at this drop box." And they're like, "Where's the drop box?" It's on the top of this mountain. and there's people that are there, and half of them are just like, or more than half are just like, "Fuck it, it's not worth the rebate. Like, I'll just buy the normal price. We're already here. Cool." There are some people that are like, "Fuck it, I have nothing else to do. Right. Let's go up the mountain." And they're like, "Cool, we have a shuttle to take you to the mountain if you really want to do that." And they end up getting like this ragtag group of 8 people that are like, "Fuck it, I'm going up this goddamn mountain."
We want our $30. We want our $30.
We want this $30. We want this rebate and whatever. And they start going up, and slowly like people start saying "fuck this" and leaving. But like it ends up with like this core group of 3 that are like, "I'm doing this shit." And
so they get riddles. They get to the mountain, and Nathan is like. They get to the mountain, and Nathan is like, in order to like, the thing is, I'm just not going to tell you where the Dropbox is. I'm going to give you a series of riddles. And he's doing these, and it's for like 12 hours, and people are leaving, and they're like, "I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm fucking out." And then eventually it's like it's like nighttime, and they're like, "Well, we can't do any more riddles, so we have to camp out here." And they put up tents with 3 random people, and these 3 random people are just spilling their life stories about just random shit, and they become like friends and stuff. And it's just like and they wake up the next day to continue the riddles. And then Nathan is eventually like, I'm gonna be honest with you. This will never end. Like I was gonna keep doing this so I wouldn't have to give you money, and they're like, we kind of had a feeling that was it, but you know what? We've made friends. We've become friends with each other. Like they don't care.
The thing that's brilliant about it is like all of this sounds super fake and super weird, but it's like you can see the level of humanity of just people when there's a camera on them, they act different. Like it is totally all these people like, well, there's a camera here. I trust this for some weird, bizarre reason. I'm going to act completely differently. The last one I want to bring up was I think it might have been the season finale. Just super brilliant shit where Nick, I think you'll appreciate this more than anyone.
Okay.
This guy, he's just like, Nathan is like, I'm going to make a show, and the show within the show is going to be on Comedy Central. And it's going to be like, I forgot the name of it, but it was like Robot of Truth or some shit. And he's like, there's a robot that like one of those robot arms from like Iron Man. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, little tiny mechanized arms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he's like, where he's like tries to blow him off with a fire extinguisher.
The dunce cap.
Dunce cap one. Yeah. I'm gonna wear or I'm gonna put handcuffs on, and I'm gonna learn from a magician how to escape from these handcuffs. If I do not do it in time with 60 seconds on the clock, this robot will pull my pants down, exposing me in front of, and the camera turns, this group of small children. I will be exposed in front of these small children, and I know that I will go to jail because, and the camera goes over, this is an LAPD cop who is here ready to arrest me. And he does not have the jurisdiction to be able to do that without a lawyer, somebody that's from this jurisdiction saying that for sure I meant to expose myself in front of these children. Camera goes over. This is a lawyer that has said that if I do exactly this, I will be arrested if I don't get out of these handcuffs.
Insane.
And then you see him go to learn different like magician tricks and stuff, and then like he like does this whole thing, and like as he's getting ready for it, he walks up, and there's like the real behind the scenes interview shit of him talking to the kids before it all happens, and like going up to the kids' parents, and they're all just like, you know, like green room type thing, and he's so deadpan, just like, hey, so just, you know, like this might happen, like I might expose myself in front of these kids, and they're all just kind of like, yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. And he's like, I mean, you guys can leave right now, like we're paying you the $100 or whatever. Does anyone want to leave? No, it's okay. And he's just like, okay.
What is wrong with these parents? Why would you even take the chance of putting your child through
kid's
that?
not gonna remember some dude's wiener.
Tim, it gets worse. There is an episode later on where he is trying to sell
these episodes for me.
He's trying to sell something to families that so they could save money when they go on vacation and they don't have to get separate hotel rooms for the mom, the dad, and the kids. And it's like you could save money, and it's essentially a box that your kid can sleep in, and it is totally soundproof. And he could sleep there in the room with you. That way, if you guys want to kind of have some sexy time, the kid won't be able to hear anything. And it's totally soundproof. And they test it out, and they have a kid in the box locked up, and it's totally like perfectly vacuum sealed. And they start doing these sound tests to see if the kid will hear it. And eventually, this is the part that I don't know if it's real or fake because it is like too wild. But he brings in porn stars, and they all start fucking in a room. And it's like 8 porn stars having a big orgy, just all fucking each other.
And they just keep, man.
Then they cut to a little kid in the box, like just sitting there. And it's like, that's the part where I'm like, all right, this is probably fake or whatever. But Nathan is sitting there in the room with the parents watching these people fuck. And the people are like, yeah, they're just standing there. And the parents are like, yeah, we trust him. We just think it's above. Like it is. It gets wild, dude. It gets wild.
The only time I've seen anything about this was back in the day when that clip was going around where, because he like the one that I don't know if it broke him or not, but that Comedy Central put out where he did Dumb Starbucks.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Tim, have you gotten that one yet?
Mm-mm.
That's season 2, I believe.
Okay, yeah, this is the only thing I've ever seen of this, but and I'm just reading it off of the
show, yeah.
Yeah, but it was it's genius that he actually did. Like he actually did it. He actually put up a Starbucks that said "Dumb Starbucks" and like tried to get away with it for a while, right?
And yeah, it was essentially saying like because of parody law, I can do this because of this is a copyright infringement. I cannot be sued because this is all just parody,
right?
And it was blowing up, and it was just taking over the world, and all these news sites around the world were saying this guy's opened up his own Starbucks, but he's calling it dumb Starbucks, and the word dumb is just really, really small, and they sell dumb frappuccinos and dumb mocha lattes or whatever. But around the world, people just took it as so many different ways. Like there's people out there that are there are some activists out there that are like, oh, this is great. He's sticking it to the man. That's what he's doing. I love it.
Right.
He's showing these big businesses out there they can't have this monopoly. But really, it's just Nathan doing a dumb bit, you know. And it's insane.
The pig that went viral. With the pig saving a goat from water. Like, Nick, this video went viral and was covered on the news. Like a normal thing, like local pig saves a goat from water, but it's all this orchestrated thing that Nathan did to make a petting zoo get more attention. Like, it's so fucking funny, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like you will walk away from watching all this and being like, fuck, this was so creative and just involved such brain power to put all this shit together. And when you think the bit is done, they take it further by getting another. It's insane. It's just
some Greg Miller shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's not like Greg shit.
It really feels like if the four of us, I'll include Kevin, the five of us, put our minds together and had like unlimited budget to do some shit, and we really fucking tried our hardest, because there's sick elements of each one of us, but at the surface is Greg Miller there, where it's just like some of these things he comes up with are just so twisted, where you're just like, where does it come from? How do you think of something like that?
Greg has the 1-2 punch of being very smart and very like a tinge psychotic when it comes to these things, and he likes pulling pranks on people. And I don't know. See, this is where I would disagree with you, Tim. Say, I can't be a part of this because this involves breaking rules.
Nick would feel too bad
and
for people.
Pulling pranks on people, and I cannot stand pulling pranks on people, except for the one time when the Nut and Butter thing to Greg. That was the best prank ever.
Fair.
Nick doesn't want random strangers to feel like he's fucking with them. And
it's not even feeling. You know what I mean? That's always the thing.
That.
Yeah.
Whenever you watch these things and people are getting scared by, like, you know, the nun from The Ring coming out it's in the mirror. You've seen these clips. It's in the mirror, and then it's in the room with them, and he throws the water bottle at her head or whatever. Like, all that kind of shit. Like, it's fun for us to watch for a second, but then you think about just doing your fucking day, being about your business, trying to go to Starbucks. You're in dumb Starbucks.
Well, the Tim, difference with this, though, at least so far from the season I've watched, it doesn't ever feel like pranks. Like,
more like a social experiment of some sort.
Yeah. And it's like he's in on it with. I mean,
what
like,
about the mountain thing? That's the social experiment, I guess, of you going up the mountain.
But the mountain thing is like, it was legit, and like the part that Andy left out at the end is there was a way they could have got it. Like, he was doing a final riddle and they failed, and all of this was in the fine print. Like, the end of the episode shows the lockbox was right behind him when he said it wasn't there.
Yeah, and then the old man also said that he would drink his kids' pee at that's another great bit. Like, there's a lot of great stuff. It's just a show that you dream to make with unlimited budget. Like, this show just kind of just lets them spend money on whatever the hell they want, and it's insane.
What's it on?
Yeah, Hulu.
Oh, who? Okay.
Yeah, it's really fucking funny.
Andy, I've told you multiple times, we have unlimited budget for KFAF. Unlimited.
That's
no
true.
matter what Tim says.
Unlimited.
We
can
spend whatever.
That is, Andy, that is not true. You guys act like you do. I would like to remind you with the jackets and how poorly that went.
We took all those jackets back to Goodwill.
No,
they didn't
we
pay
did,
us for them. We just
did not.
donated them.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
We definitely
Not only that,
yeah,
half of them did not fit, Andy, because you thought it'd be funny to buy small jackets.
I started with the small jackets, for one, and two, I worked my way up to the big ones. We got 34 jackets on him that day.
No, I think it was 18.
Was it 18? Okay. Well,
remember when I bought makeup and then it was a lot of money.
Yeah, that was a lot of money, but I looked fantastic, and it freaked my wife out when I sent her a picture of me. And the best part was that somebody made me think of Dee Dee from the Drew Carey show, and that was a good day.
Oh, I
Right?
haven't thought of her in a long time.
Yeah, they said that's what I looked like when I was
anyway.
when I did my makeup.
I'm just so glad that Tim jumped on board.
So
and I think what really hooked him is that there's an episode about sort of like The Bachelor that Nathan is like, I have trouble meeting women, so what if I put together a fake reality show where women come to me and try to win my heart? And
but the key is they hire a host, like an actor, to be the host.
Yeah,
but they don't let the actor know
that it's a fake show.
That it's a fake show. So he's taking it so seriously, and the women legit think that they are on a dating show because technically they were. Like, that's the thing. People just do stupid shit in front of cameras, man.
Do you remember the Joe Schmo show?
Yes.
Yes.
Me and my friends in college, the Antlers, we were obsessed with that, and we
That's
did
what
that.
it was. Is that the one?
Yeah, what is going on? Yeah, great one.
Is that the one where they tell the women that he's a millionaire, but then
No.
That's Joe Millionaire.
Yeah, Joe Millionaire. Which
Yeah,
is
okay.
What's Joe Schmo show was the opposite of it, where it's what you're describing, where everyone was in on it, that it was a fake show. They were all actors on a reality show of like, who's getting voted out of the house thing, except for one person.
Oh, that's so fucked up.
And
he was
just a Joe Schmo.
He was the most kind-hearted, nice dude
he was
ever.
awesome. Yeah.
And so at the very, very end of it, when it all gets revealed, he's just like, "What is going on?" Like he's just freaking out. I'll never.
And they
forget
played
that
it in
quote.
they played in the intro. So every time you watch the episode, that's how the intro had a "What is going on?"
Like that's so fucked up for that guy. That's gonna be his claim to fame
But it was,
forever.
well, no, because I couldn't pick him. He was just a generic white dude. I can't pick him out of a crowd right now. You know what I mean? And even if I did know his name and I Googled it, I'd be like, oh, good. He's a fucking teaching calisthenics in high school. That's great.
I'm so excited, Tim. I need you to text me with whatever episode you're watching.
Look, guys, I know I said I was only gonna say one more. I'm gonna say one more, and I promise I'll be fucking done. Because this was the one this is the first moment I actually laughed out loud at the show. They are trying to help out a guy that has a haunted house, and he's taking this haunted house extremely seriously. Like this dude, it's one of those like year-round things where you come and you walk through the house and like it has all this stupid ass like a witch pops out or whatever. Yeah.
I wasn't sure you were going to talk about this one because I didn't know if it was in season 1 or not. But this one is like
this is season
so
1.
Far above and beyond what they needed to do.
So I'm gonna need you guys to stick with me because it can get a little complicated. But if you listen, it won't be. All right. Okay. So we're in this haunted house. They're trying to like convince more people to come to the haunted house. So Nathan's idea is that they need to be sued by someone at the haunted house for it being too scary.
Smart.
They're like, that'll get national news. People will be like, that's the scary. We have to do it. If somebody was so scared that they sued us, right? So they're like, we got to do something that's worth suing. So they get once again, like get a lawyer, get somebody ready to sue with them. And their plan was to have random people go through this haunted house. And there's like actors, the scary actors with makeup and shit, like kind of trying to spook them or whatever. Mm-hmm. And towards the end of it, have one of them touch the people like they normally do, like whatever. Sure. But then halfway through the haunted house, after that happened, Nathan walks in, lights turn on, like it's super serious, like whoa, hey, did you guys make physical contact? And they're like, yeah, she touched me a little. Oh my god, she has a really bad disease. That is like whoa, hold on.
Just a deadly transmittable disease. Yeah.
And then they have a medic come in and be like, wait, you touched her? What? Oh my god. They're like, hold on, stay here. They make some phone calls. Hey, we're gonna have to get an ambulance here. We got to get her to the hospital as soon as possible. An ambulance comes, and this is where the budget comes in. A fucking ambulance comes. They get this couple to go in the ambulance. They're taking them to the hospital, and they're faking all these phone calls like, yo, this is bad. This is really bad. Is the hospital like overrun? Like, are we okay? Whatever. They pull up to what is the hospital. The doors open. And these people come in like, oh, no, hold on. Close the doors. They open it again, and they're in hazmat suits. And they're just like, they're like, hey, you have to come with me. Husband, you can't come. We need to take care of her right now. And they're like freaking out about it.
What the fuck is happening? Like, you need to tell us what's happening. You're like, they're freaking out right now.
See, that doesn't sound like
that's fucked up. Like, yeah, that's really mean.
But then they get out. And
hold on here. They get out.
He's like, come here. And then they walk over to the lawyer guy. And they're like, hey, so that was all a prank. That was part of the haunted house. That was all part to scare you in the haunted house. Are you scared enough to sue? Because if you are, we have this lawyer right there. And they were just cracking up. They're like, oh my God, that was the scariest thing ever. And that was kind of it. But how fucking hilarious is that?
That's so fucked up.
Yeah, I love like the hazmat people like dragging them through a doorway and they open up and then Nathan's sitting there with the lawyer like, all right, guys, that's the end of the ride.
Yeah. Brilliant. And it's like, it's fucked up.
I gotta check it out.
You're going to a haunted house to get scared. Like
it seems on the line of just where I don't know if I could enjoy it. It seems like it's making me uncomfortable. Interesting.
You will.
The Joe Schmo show, the fake host who obviously was a real actor, Ralph Garman from Kevin Smith World. And then I didn't know this at all. Kristen Wiig was one of the like reality show people. She was the quack doctor or whatever. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's crazy. The more you know. The Kind of Funny podcast.
Kristen Wiig.
Go ahead and do that. Because I googled Joe Schmo show and then like the first YouTube clip is what is going on?
Yeah.
Check that out later. Nathan, for you on Hulu. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to continue our entertainment segment here on the Kind of Funny podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. This episode of the Kind of Funny podcast is brought to you by Lumen. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the cold hard truth. Your skin has needs. If you want it to look as good as possible for as long as possible, you need to address them right now. We get it. You might not know where to start, but there's a company that has taken the guesswork out of it for you, Lumen. Everybody knows you want to wash your face, you just splash some water on it, you go to bed. No, you need to use product on there. You need to get in there. You need to moisturize. Lumen, of course, will give you a skincare routine. Lumen is on a mission to help give men the amazing skin they deserve through high-quality, expert-created products delivered right to your door. All of their products are formulated specifically for men's skin and made to target skin issues with maximum efficiency, using top-notch ingredients like charcoal, green tea extract, and vitamin C. It's not just about looking good. It's about feeling good. You need good skin health, especially as you get older, to prevent long-term skin damage. The one and only Tim Gettys has been using these face washes and sunscreen like moisturizer things. You saw him out hiking the other day, putting that on there. Of course, washing it off at the end of the night, making sure his skin is as beautiful as his baby blues. Even if you have no idea where to begin, Lumen makes it so easy to find the right skin management for you. Choose from different skin concerns to address, or just pick up a free, simple starter pack for free. You deserve to look and feel your best, and here's where to start. Go to lumenskin.com/kindafunny to get a 1-month free trial of everything you need to start your skincare journey at home. That's Lumen, Lumin, skin.com/kindafunny to get your first month for free. Lumenskin.com/kindafunny. Ladies and gentlemen, our other sponsor, of course, is forhims.com. It's a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness, and more for men. But of course, you know all about it because Nick and Andy have been using forhims forever, for a long time for their thinning hair. They noticed a problem. They went online to forhims.com. They talked to a doctor, and they were prescribed well-known generic equivalents to help them do this. Of course, this is all FDA approved. Real doctors you're talking to, real medical advice. Specifically, today we're talking about erectile dysfunction, another thing forhims.com does. In the same vein as the hair loss stuff, Forhims was started with this idea that there are some conversations that are awkward, not fun to have, and keep people out of the doctor's office. Obviously, there's the whole commitment of time and travel and all these different things, but then getting there and talking face to face, sometimes you can be embarrassed. You shouldn't be embarrassed to talk about these things. Anything, any medical problem you have, forhims.com makes it simple, of course. You go there, you talk to a real doctor online on your schedule. You don't have to worry about it. And if they feel you meet the criteria and they can prescribe it, they prescribe it for you to help you feel your best and look your best, or have sex your best, with the erectile dysfunction stuff being no longer a concern for you. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, you can try Forhims right now, starting with a free online visit. Go to forhims.com/kindafunny. That's forhims.com/kindafunny. Forhims.com/kindafunny. These are prescription solutions, and they're subject to a medical provider's approval and require an online consultation with a medical provider who will determine if the prescription is appropriate. See the website for full details and safety information. This could cost hundreds if you went in person to the doctor's office or pharmacy. Instead, remember, that's forhims.com/kindafunny. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's kick it to South Bay Adam with the question on everyone's mind. Not really, but kind of really, because it's always on it's always in there. South Bay Adam says, of course, patreon.com/kindafunny. If you rebooted the Xman franchise today, who would you cast as the team members? Example. He gives us an example as if we don't understand what casting a movie would be. Example. Zac Efron as Wolverine. So I want to start thinking. Of course, the big question is, where will we put Steve Harvey? It's been a long time since the Kind of Funny crew put anyone into a movie here. So the
obvious question is, like, he's got to be the head of the team, right? He's got to be either Professor X or Cyclops.
And that's the other thing, is I think we should come down with who we're putting on this team. Professor X, yes. Cyclops, yes. Wolverine, yes. Storm. Okay.
Beast.
Yeah. Jean Grey, right?
Jean Grey.
Jean Grey.
I will Kitty Pryde as well.
You're putting a Kitty Pryde in there, huh?
Are you writing these down? Because there's a lot now.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about, like, I'm trying to imagine if we're being realistic about who we expect the X-Men in the MCU to be. I think Kitty's a almost guarantee.
Okay, why do you think that?
Just because she's super relevant. Colossus as well. Like I think when you think of like the when you look at MCU and like the comics that they tend to adapt, I think that era, the Whedon era of X-Men, is probably going to be more represented than the OG classics that we've seen so many.
So are you saying no Iceman? You saying no Rogue?
I think they'll still be there, but like Angel, I'm not sure if we'll see him.
Okay. Jubilee, we're not going that deep in the roster, right?
I don't think.
Jubilee just never needs to be in an X-Men movie ever again.
No, she does. She just needs to be done right. All right.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. My only touchstone is the cartoon and the movies, and I'm like, wow, this character just looks like a dud.
Well, yeah. Her. You know, I'm not saying
firecrackers out of her fingers. I'm like, don't waste that time. Put in someone stronger. Put in like Rogue or put in like Jean Grey.
I mean, the most important thing is who's Basketball Boy.
Oh yeah,
that's the big question. That's a big question. Side note: did you guys see that that quick thing that came out of Comic-Con at home or whatever we were doing last week, where Snyder was like
doing it?
we weren't doing shit. But Snyder was talking about how he was basically like, yeah, we're reshooting a bunch of stuff, and I'm happy to announce that the Snyder cut won't have a single Joss Whedon frame in it.
Hell yeah.
That's insane.
Hell yeah.
Strap in, boys. And you can all eat your words at how different the film actually is.
Oh, at this point, I'm like, fuck, I was totally wrong.
Did you see the black suit? Did you see the footage of the black suit?
I saw him in the black suit. I didn't know if that was someone just photoshopped that or not. Was that like a thing?
I thought that was real.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If they need to shoot a new movie to make the Snyder cut, we're not wrong. To be clear.
They're not shooting it. They're doing reshoots and finishing CG effects. Yeah. All right, Tim. Don't worry, Tim. You got probably a whole year here to keep making your fucking excuses on why you hate this film that you haven't seen yet. All right.
I'm not doing that at all.
I understand that Batman v Superman was over your head and you couldn't get the finer points of it. You know what I mean? If it's not fucking Chris Evans humping an American flag, you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it at all.
Excuse me, sir. Captain, is that an American flag? I know what I'm doing for the rest of the afternoon.
Tony, come get me when you're done.
X-Men. Are we doing old Wolverine or like young Wolverine? What's the take on Wolverine?
I mean, we can do whatever we want with it right here. And I think we should. So right now what I have is Professor X, Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, Rogue, Iceman, Beast, Jean Grey, Kitty Pryde, Colossus, Magneto.
Look, let's just start with Professor X and Magneto.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, we can all agree that's going to happen, right?
Yes. Yeah.
They're the staples.
I think the only thing, and this is where I'm out of my element 100%. I think the only thing that you could switch up there was maybe not do Magneto for a while. You know what I mean? Try to have him have a pop later on, but I don't know. Again, I'm not the Marvel kid and I'm not the X-Men kid. I'm the MC. I like MCU like everybody else, but I don't know my X-Men history enough to tell you who another villain they could go up against that isn't Magneto.
I feel like you have to have him as like his Xavier's antithesis, right?
Yeah. But I think since we already, and I know so now this is becoming how do you integrate the X-Men into the MCU? I think it's a similar thing to the whole Spider-Man, bringing him in there, right? Of like, all right, yeah, we get it. I think you can drop us into the world of the X-Men and Charles Xavier and his school for gifted youngsters and have them be up and running or about to be up and running and just have him hint to, I had a friend one time, you know what I mean? I had a friendship that went south and, it maybe quotes Taylor Swift, right? Then all my enemies used to be started off friends, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I do think it's a little different than the Spider-Man situation.
Lay it on me.
With three reasons. Mainly because like Spider-Man, we've had reboots, whereas with X-Men, we've had reboot / complication / same universe for so long, where it's like we even have different Magnetos that are the same Magneto. So it's like there's that stuff that's complicated, but also just with where the MCU's at right now, it is so established and we have such in-depth knowledge of so many years and decades of its history that Spider-Man's just a kid in high school. You can just throw that in. You're like, cool, it's there. But like, especially with the Holocaust and stuff being so tied to Magneto, if the mutants and all that are going to be in that era, it'd be kind of weird that we didn't hear about them unless there's some Professor X made everyone not see it or whatever. So I don't like that. I think that's not the route they're going to take. I think that it's either going to have something to do with the snap releasing the X gene or whatever it is, and it's going to be a way more modern take on the X-Men. And that's where I think the Spider-Man stuff can kind of come into play, where it's like things are very different. They're similar but very different. But I think it needs to be more drastically different than the X-Men we've seen, as opposed to Spider-Man, which is you get it. We can move on.
Mm-hmm. But I think what I'm saying and I hear you, and this is another one, please correct me. Like, is Magneto's comic book story Holocaust stuff too? Like, is
Yeah.
that just who he is 100%?
Yeah,
That's the stuff.
yeah.
Okay. Like, I feel like, and what I'm saying about it is like more like, I don't think you need such a, even though I hope there'll be focuses on him. I don't think you need such a focus on Wolverine. I don't think you need his whole, we get Weapon X, right? Even if it's, we don't understand if Stryker was involved or any of that shit. I think you get that to where you could just drop in and have Wolverine being Wolverine, and he already knows a little bit about his backstory or whatever. Even if it was that there already is a team, and like you're saying, Professor X has kept them hidden for this entire time.
I bet we get Weapon X in a totally unrelated MCU thing. Like, I think Weapon X will be in a Captain Marvel.
Captain America,
or Captain America, or Falcon and Winter Soldier, or something like that. Like, I think that like that's the type of thing where it's like we're all so familiar, we get it, that it doesn't need to be in an X-Men movie for us to understand, Wolverine.
And it's also a kind of a quick way to get it out of the way without dedicating a whole sort of gigantic storyline to it. I feel like it could be mentioned here and there.
And it allows the X-Men movies to not focus on Wolverine. It allows them to focus on the X-Men and focus on the team in a way that we really have only seen in First Class. And even that didn't focus on the team that we want to see.
Well, do you think they do that, or do you think they do? So you think they introduce the element of Weapon X, or do you think that Wolverine is a character in a couple movies building up to a bigger X-Men movie?
I think Wolverine can exist kind of outside of the X-Men dynamic for a while. Exist more just within the MCU.
Yeah, so like he's actually teamed up with, he's like a teammate of some of the Avengers or whatever we're left with after the snap.
Doesn't necessarily need to be a teammate. Could just be a character that's around, kind of doing his own thing. Cool, I think that we're going to get a team that's going to look drastically different. I think we're going to get a very diverse X-Men. Of the mutants we're familiar with, but they're going to be very different. Like, my first start is I want Lakeith Stanfield for Cyclops, and actually make Cyclops a dope ass character. Make him lead the team.
That guy.
From
sorry to bother you.
From Get Out as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Get Out. Yeah.
And Death Note. He's L.
Long term, does he still go the same route of like a dark path that Cyclops goes?
Eventually, yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be really.
That'd be super down the line, but yeah.
God damn, it just makes me sad whenever I see like successful people like younger than me.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them out there.
I was watching no, I don't think necessarily he'd be a great choice for it, but I was watching a movie with Emil Hirsch the other day.
Yep.
And I was like, he All Nighter, I think is what it was called. It was a movie we watched for Screencast. He played Speed Racer. He kind of dropped off a little bit, but I think he's making a little bit of a comeback. And when he has a beard, like a little bit of scruff, I'm like, he'd make a really cool young Wolverine because he's kind of like jacked up. Yeah, that could be kind of fun.
Old though?
I mean, old.
He's 35.
When I think of Wolverine, I always think of someone in their like late 40s to start the series with. I always think that, but like Emil Hirsch,
yeah, he's 35. 35.
Yeah, he's 35, so he's younger than me. So he could be like, I just think he has a cool look for it.
I think
it's kind of a missed opportunity. They didn't cast him as Han Solo, but I don't even know if he was in the running for that.
Yeah, he's 5'7", and he's just got sort of the face shape for it. Like, it's pretty spot on, actually. That's a damn good, right? That's a good get.
No, and that's the thing is too, is like I wonder. they'll never do this because I think the legacy of Wolverine is to be like the sort of typical hero, 6'2", 6'3", jacked out. But it would be so much fun if it'd be better if they just went in a different direction.
I think they're gonna. I think we're gonna get an ugly one.
Because otherwise you end up with sort of what I would call like, that's probably a bad term, but like sort of like the Jedi mentality where like when there's not a Jedi on screen, you're like, why the fuck would I care about anything that's going on? And that was how I kind of always felt with X-Men, where I was like, Wolverine's so cool. Why do I care what's happening with Cyclops? Why do I care what's happening with the thing? So basically, if you kind of make him not less cool, but just different than what you would expect, maybe that'll leave room for, the acceptance of the other characters as being equally as cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where can we put this Timothy Chalamet kid?
Timothée Chalamet?
He's basketball kid. He's
basketball kid?
Wow.
He's going to be too busy with Dune.
With Dune? He's not going to be.
He's Nightcrawler, dude.
Nightcrawler's a good pick.
He's got like the perfect body for it.
Yeah. He does have that. Yeah. I was watching that Hot Summer Nights the other day.
Oh.
I enjoyed
what's the actress in that could be a good pick for one of these as well. I forgot her name. It's like
I'm looking. I got you for
Micah something.
Micah Monroe.
Yeah, I like her. She was in a movie called Villains that we just watched. She was really good in that. And I think she was also in It Follows, which was a really, really cool movie.
Was she in It Follows? Was she the girl in It Follows?
Yeah, I think so.
She was.
Wow, really?
I feel like she would be a
Yeah,
good
there she is.
Ice Queen. What's her name?
Wow. Emma Frost.
Emma Frost.
I think she'd be a good Rogue. I know we're not putting Rogue in here. She also would be a good. I think she
Well,
could
no,
be
we
great.
have to put Rogue in here. Just so like
is that?
we have to have Rogue. I don't care who she is, but I want her to take Captain Marvel's powers eventually.
Yeah.
I would say Florence.
Why do you say that? Because is that something that happened in the comics? I don't know about.
Yeah, that was the cartoon. I don't know if it happened in the comics. It could have.
It happens in the comics as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And like it takes Captain Marvel out of the story for a long time too, right?
Like
Sure,
I do want to avoid giving really popular actors more stuff, because I just feel like I want to give smaller actors.
Feel like a butt.
Julia Roberts.
But no, but I want
Roberts.
but I want John Boyega to be something.
Ooh.
Like just something, you know?
John Boyega's probably
He could be a good Colossus. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's fucking great. I like
That would
that.
be tight.
It's a good pick right there. That's a good pick there. Here's my thing. Hold on. I'm looking on IMDb as I go, of course.
Oh, okay, for Kitty Pryde. Sorry. And she might be a part of New Mutants, so I'm not quite sure if we can get her for this. I can't remember who's in New Mutants, but Olivia Cook, I think, would make an awesome Kitty Pryde.
So Nick, you're onto something there. Absolutely. I'm right there with you. This is still technically not confirmed, but as of yesterday, it's been signed that Haley Steinfeld is going to be Kate Bishop, which is the next Hawkeye.
Oh,
Which is
shit.
fucking awesome. Like
That's
so
dope.
perfect, so nailed it. And the rumors are the second runner-up was Olivia Cook.
Yeah, Olivia Cook's
And supposedly she's still in the talks for some MCU property. And yeah, absolutely. Kitty Pryde, give it to her.
She would be great. She was in she was in a movie called Me Girl and the Dying Girl. That was fucking great. If you guys haven't seen it, you should watch.
As
It
well.
sucks.
awesome.
It sucks that Zendaya is already MJ. Because like
Give her
She was
everything.
Storm.
Colossus.
Where can we put Ben Mendelsohn?
oh
He'd be a good Professor X.
He'd be a
or
great
I think
Magneto.
he'd be a better Magneto, right?
But he's already a scroll.
Yeah, but that's
damn.
a bunch of fucking makeup on.
Yeah, but still. Which I guess I
Oh
mean, I
my
know that
god,
they're
Margot
already doing
Robbie's only 30? Jesus.
Andy, don't do this
That's
to yourself.
upsetting.
I hate
They're all
this.
more successful than us. Don't do this to
hate
yourself.
this. Chloe Grace Moretz, I think, could be a good Kitty Pryde.
You know what I was thinking? Because I get these two confused. Chloe Grace Moretz and Florence Pugh. Is that how you say her last name?
But she's
She's already Black Widow, so that's unfortunate.
But we've already cast Olivia Cook as Kitty Pryde. I'm sorry, that ship has sailed. All right, that's done.
Olivia Cook's super dope.
Kevin,
What's that name of the actress? Damn, I really like her. She was in Ready or Not.
Anya Taylor-Joy? Oh no.
No, I like her
Not
too. And
Margot
Oh,
Robbie.
Samara Weaving.
Samara Weaving could be in something.
Yeah.
She's a good
Here's what
actor.
I'm saying. Wow. I just thought of the best Magneto and Professor X. Will Ferrell
oh god,
and John,
John
C.
C.
Riley.
Steve Riley?
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you, Andy, if you want that, you should go back and watch Holmes and Watson and see if you can get about 20 minutes into that movie.
Oh,
man.
God. I will never
That one-
forget watching the trailer set and be like, this is going to be an absolute piece of shit movie, dude.
Dude, that one, and I mean, I will always love Will Ferrell forever. I just watched the other guys again and
So
to give it another
good.
shot.
Yes.
It didn't hit me 100%. Like I remember watching, I was like, yeah, this movie is kind of structurally weird. That's why it didn't work for me. But there are moments in that movie that
Get
are
it, don't play no
genius.
shit. It's a
There's
great
that.
movie.
There's that, and then there's a moment where because Dee remembered it, but she didn't want to watch the whole movie, so I pulled up the supercut of Michael Keaton doing all of the TLC references. It's like you
Great
have to know
movie.
you're doing this. You have to know. Hey, you better creep. It's like come on.
I feel like that's like so many of Will Ferrell's movies begin certain types of humor. And I feel like that was the first time I ever heard that joke of like a reference to something and somebody being like, is that something?
It's like, hey
no,
guys,
I have no
don't go
idea.
chasing waterfalls. And he's like,
Yeah,
wait,
I feel like
did
that
you
movie
follow
sort of
TLC?
started. I
What
feel
are
like
you
it
talking
started that structure of humor. That sort of joke.
He's like, hey guys, just so you know, I don't need no scrubs. He's like, come on, you gotta be doing this.
All right, so this doesn't work if we're trying to keep the Holocaust thing. But again,
All right.
those people are getting older and older and older, so that's going to be hard to do. I think we need to modernize this story a bit. What about for Professor X, Sterling K. Brown, Magneto, Pedro Pascal?
Jesus. Oh my God.
I just watched Hotel Artemis. Sterling K. Brown fucking crushes in that. I loved it. It was great.
I started season 3 of Narcos, and Pedro Pascal is just the best, man.
That guy's good.
I also didn't know there was a season 3.
Yeah.
A fun surprise for you.
Yeah, because Boyd Holbrook's not in that season, right?
Yeah.
At some point. Yeah, I think they were just like, let's be honest, we just need Pedro in this.
Dude, by the way, how cool was it? Oh my God, guys, Tim and Greg, at the end of Narcos season 2, spoilers, they fucking kill the guy. Like,
oh my God.
I like how you went they kill, and then you were like, oh, I shouldn't say his name because that's a huge spoiler. Pablo Escobar.
They kill the guy.
But in the movie, it shows the guy's posing with his body, and then they cut to an actual real life photo taken in the 80s of the real guys standing with his body. I couldn't believe it. I had to like pause it, and I was audibly going, I can't believe this. This is so crazy.
They do that a lot. That throughout the whole season, every time they show footage like that, it's real footage.
Yeah, I guess like the other footage and stuff is like one thing, but then like the fact that like the main characters like get into pose and then immediately cuts to the actual photo of them with his dead body is so crazy.
I'm gonna throw this out because this is a movie we just watched as well, and I think she should be somewhere in here. Have we cast all the female roles already, Greg? I guess it doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean, we're just throwing things around, but like I got Jean Grey and Storm still open, unless I missed something.
Jean Grey and Storm.
But I mean, I'm
well, yeah. I don't know where she would plug in, but we just watched The Hate You Give, and the young actor in that, Amanda Steinberg, is fucking phenomenal. And I think it'd be awesome if she could be like play a character throughout something.
Okay.
I'll also give like
I'm giving Storm to Kiki Palmer.
Who's Kiki Palmer?
Kiki Palmer.
You've seen her before. As soon as you Google her, you'll be like, oh, she was on like old Nickelodeon shows back in the day, but she was on the movie with J-Lo, the stripper movie, I think.
Oh,
Hustlers?
Yeah, Hustlers. That's what it's called.
Wait, what is
you guys
are
She's on Scream Queens. Remember that Scream Queens show?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I've always
Storm's another one I imagine Storm's going to be in Black Panther 2.
Oh my God.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Before
that would be incredible. At least like some sort of Easter egg or something like that.
And are you going? So
guys,
right now,
these movies are never coming out. Like,
so there's also that reality.
God, we need a fucking MCU movie like nobody's business. All right, get over it and fucking put them out digitally.
So the only good news, I mean, that's not good news, but at least we're probably going to get some news next week because Disney's shareholder meeting is happening, where I expect they're going to delay Falcon and Winter Soldier, but we're probably going to get like a firm date for WandaVision being this year. So that's cool.
That's kind of cool.
I'll take it. I'll take anything at this point. You know what I mean? Fucking
I just want to see him back together. I miss Elizabeth Olsen so much.
All right, so you have Amanda Steinberg here and Kiki Palmer pulled up. Who do you want? Where are we putting them?
I give it to Steinberg. I don't know who this Kiki Storm is. I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
Look up. But here's what I'm saying. I mean, granted, I'm basing this off of Alexandra. What's her name? The last person that played Storm,
who was awesome. And like, he was awesome. Give her another fucking shot.
Hair. I know. Give her another shot. She was fucking right. Alexandra Shipp is her name.
Yeah, I give it back to her, man. She was great.
That'd be cool.
Just didn't get it.
That'd be cool.
Oh,
all right. I mean, we can fix it. We can do it. We can give it back to her.
I'm also thinking about. So who do we cast as Kitty Pryde?
Olivia Cook is who you have down for that.
Because Mackenzie Foy, I love Mackenzie Foy. Matthew McConaughey's daughter in Interstellar. I think she's great.
Foy?
Yeah, Mackenzie Foy.
For which character?
For Kitty Pryde.
Oh, she could work. No, we're going with vetoed that. I'm going with Olivia Cook.
Sorry, you've been vetoed. Sorry, I wish we could help you on that one.
Sorry, she had a great Mackenzie had a great audition. She's just didn't work out. Didn't work out.
So right now, then the gaps I have, even though some of these just have things we said and wrote them in. Iceman, Beast, and Jean Grey all need to be cast still.
See, Iceman's one of those where I was gonna say John. Why do I always assume Iceman has to be young? Because I got the last series stuck in my head. Because Iceman could be happy.
Shouldn't they all be around the same age?
Yeah, they should. I mean,
hey, we're rebooting everything. We do everything.
Yeah. I mean, with rebooting everything, I truly think that like we're so far off with any of this. Like, I'm going to be pretty surprised if there are more than 2 white members of this team. Like, I really think they're going to like rapidly or radically change the backstories for a lot of these characters.
You think it's going to be a more diverse cast, like a mixed ethnicity cast?
Totally,
yeah,
totally. And so with that, it's like there's a lot of criticism even of that idea being brought up because it's like,
but that isn't that at the core of what Xmen is supposed to be? Isn't that when he made the, when they came up with it back in the day, if Stanley came up with it now, wouldn't this be at the core of what he would want?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying the feedback against it is that it's like you don't want to erase the Holocaust either from being a thing and being
sure, but you can always have that
extremely tied to characters like Kitty Pryde and
for sure. But that could be Magneto's backstory. You can still keep that if you want.
Yeah, it's just I think that they're not going to go that direction. I think they're going to get a lot of criticism for it. But I just also think that hey, I'm looking at this as a feeble-minded human being, but I think it's going to be real hard to get a Magneto in 2020 that is as riled up about the Holocaust as the Magneto we know that was grown up in the 50s.
Yeah, but if he lived through the Holocaust, he'd be what?
Old as hell. That's the problem. I don't obviously have this connection to the X-Men outside of what I've seen in the movies or whatever, so I can't speak. And obviously, I'm not Jewish, and the list goes on, and why my opinion really doesn't matter. But I would think that even if you got criticism from them, there's for that decision, there's a storytelling factor of like, well, how do we make that make sense? We don't like. Well, I think that you can make, you can take, the real life horrors of the Holocaust and apply them to a fictional event that has happened inside the MCU that is similar, that gives you the same motivations that we can all look to and be like, I get it. This is a contemporary look at what that would be and how it goes. I think, even like it's what we're talking about earlier with the Stan Lee thing of like, obviously, the X-Men were put out there to be this, lightning rod of that thing of being the outsiders, right? They don't want you in the same schools. They don't want you be able to stand in for race, gender, equality overall, right? I think that you can take those themes events, like you're saying, build out this team that is motivated. It'd be awesome to see people on here that are being motivated by, the real world horror fucking show we're living in every day of what they're seeing in terms of inequality.
Yeah. I believe in them. I think they're going to do a really good job. I'm just saying that like casting this right now feels like casting it based on what we know is one thing, like what we're familiar with of these characters, but casting what we actually expect the MCU.
Oh, sure. Well, this is just a fuck around experience. For
me. I'm just saying that just because like I don't want people thinking that we're trying to recast these people to, delete the Holocaust or whatever. It's like that's not the case.
Sure. But I mean, it's a tremendous opportunity for Disney and for the MCU to address some slightly more modern issues, and I would not fault them for wanting to go in that direction either. Like for instance, if you wanted to make like Magneto, let's say like just radical idea, if you wanted to make him like Middle Eastern and have him have a grudge against America for the 30 years of war that we've been waging on, in those territories, that could be an interesting take on it. I'm not saying that what you want to do about it, but that's something that you could potentially have. Like we've already seen Iron Man going over there and like dispelling justice of his own, like, as vigilante justice in the Middle East. And granted, of course, those guys were set up as bad guys. I'm not dispelling that at all, but like, it would be very fascinating to see if they address that. It's a hot button topic. I doubt Disney would, but just throwing that out there, it's something you could do. I'll also say this. I'm going to eat my words right now, Greg, because earlier I was talking a lot of shit about Jubilee. And this name kept rattling in my brain. I was like, we got to get Lana Condor in this somehow. We got to get Lana Condor.
I love Lana Condor.
And then I thought to myself, she'd be a great Jubilee. And then I thought to myself, wasn't she already Jubilee?
He's going to get there. He's going to get there, Tim. Wait, just let him go. He's doing the arithmetic in the long division again.
Wow, I forgot too, Nick. I forgot too, bro.
No, she would be. I mean, she's fucking badass in the movies Joey likes, but she's awesome in Deadly Class season 1. Is a travesty. We never got another season of that. Like, no, she can get her in the movie as real Jubilee,
as anybody,
I mean? Not just as anybody. She basically took him to the fucking mall. That was all she did in the first.
I want her to be anybody.
Yeah. Not Jubilee. Give her someone else.
Yeah, don't give her Jubilee. Give her fucking Jean Grey, dude. I love Lana Condor.
All right, there we go.
I'm in for that. Let's go.
Then all we have left is Iceman.
Because on top of that, Lana Condor and Lakeith Stanfield as Cyclops and Jean Grey.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's hot.
I'm into that.
All right. Who's Iceman? Check it out. Ice Woman. It's Margot Robbie.
No, she's Harley Quinn. She can't come over. She can't play here.
She can't play here. No.
Samara Weaving could though. Like you could bring her in. She's sort of like she's like a younger equivalent to Margot Robbie.
Who?
Oh, the
So-
woman from
Ready
Ready,
or
or Not.
Oh, I heard Sigourney Weaver.
I'd love it. I'd love it if that was
Younger
fake.
equivalent. What are you talking
I'm
about?
gonna throw this out there because I can't remember his name. It's gonna drive Joey nuts if she's watching this.
She is.
Who is the opposite of Lana Condor in To All the Boys I've Loved Before? The guy with the little scar that's like a perfect
A
little
guy that
scar.
like I don't see why all the girls go crazy over him. I don't think he's.
Are you kidding me?
Noah
Yeah.
Centineo.
Yes,
Yeah.
we got to get Noah Centineo in here somewhere.
Andy,
Let's
back
go.
away from this one. Back away from this
don't
one.
get it.
Drop it. Just back
You're
away.
dead
This isn't for
wrong.
you.
Don't get it.
Andy, you know what's funny is
Yeah,
when
he
I
doesn't-
first met
no.
you, I thought to myself, this guy kind of reminds me of like a smaller, like more compact Noah Centineo.
He's trying to hurt your feelings, Andy.
All right, so here's what we have for the list. Are you ready?
Do we put Steve Harvey on this or not? Because that's
Are you
tremendous.
ready? He's on there. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
So, Professor X, Sterling K. Brown, Magneto, Pedro Pascal, Cyclops, Lakeith Stanfield. Did I say that right? Lakeith?
Lakeith?
I apologize. Lakeith Stanfield. That makes way more sense. Yep. If you break it right there, there it is. Wolverine, Emil Hirsch. We're like, yeah, maybe he's too old. Whatever. We left him in there. Storm, Amanda Stenberg.
Stenberg, I think it's her name, or Steinberg.
Look, spelling wise, it'd be Stenberg, but I could be stupid.
Let's go Stenberg.
Okay. Rogue, McKay Monroe. Iceman, Samara Weaving. So it's Ice Woman, I guess. Jean Grey, Lana Condor. Kitty Pryde, Olivia. What?
Sorry. Micah Monroe. Sorry. Go ahead.
Kitty Pryde, Olivia Cook. Colossus, John Boyega. And Beast, Steve Harvey.
There we go. I'm liking that.
Wow.
Although I will say here, the Iceman woman situation, Nick, you got me going with this Noah Centineo business, but I'm gonna do you one better. Jordan Fisher.
Is he the other
my
kid in
God.
Twilight before?
Yeah.
No. You're either Team Noah or you're not. Get out.
We're
No,
Team Noah.
Jordan
That's
Fisher's
not
way
the
better
case.
than this dude.
Way
Joey,
better,
can I have a
10,000
link?
times better.
Joey, call Greg Miller right now if you're watching this, and I want you to weigh in on this.
Joey loves
Joey
Jordan
loves Noah more than anyone in the world. I bet
Yeah.
you she still picks Jordan Fisher.
Nope.
Oh, she picks
I-
Jordan
I-
Fisher all
No
day.
fucking way.
Joey,
No
he's
way.
wearing-
He's also
waiting.
a Twitch streamer.
Oh my god.
Oh, that
I'm
guy.
sorry.
Okay. I know who that guy is.
Yeah.
This is no disrespect to Fisher, but
If you want,
No,
what
we're
we can do
Star,
is we
he
can
reminds me of
Fisher has to be
bigger,
somebody.
taller version of Andy. It's great.
we could put Noah Santiago into the Iceman role and then move
Noah
Samara
does not
Weaving
deserve a role in the
to
MCU.
Emma
No,
Frost.
he does not.
Just straight
How
up does not.
Dare you?
He
How
needs to
dare you.
live in Netflix.
Everybody
movie
quiet.
life
Everybody be
forever.
quiet. Joey Noel, you're on the Kind of Funny podcast. Only I can hear you. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
All right,
Can
wait,
we
no, you can only
figure
hear
out-
me.
Oh yeah. Can we figure out a way to get both of them in there? Because that would be really great.
No, you have
No,
to pick. We
Joey.
need you to pick right now.
One or the other.
So here's
Just
the
pick
thing.
Noah. He wants to pick
I
Noah.
love Noah Centineo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Truly do. He's gonna be He-Man. He's gonna be great. Jordan Fisher, way better acting job. So I think we
Okay.
put Jordan Fisher in.
Jordan Fisher. So you're putting in as Iceman.
Yeah.
Joey, I have it on good
To be
authority
fair, I
that
also
Noah
don't know
watches
anything about
this
X-Men,
show.
so I'm going off of the expertise of everybody else on this panel.
Okay. Well, thank you, Joey. That's what we needed. Bye.
Bye.
All right, there you go then. A shakeup.
Dude, Jordan,
Jordan
Fisher's
Fisher.
a perfect pick for Iceman. Are you kidding me?
Iceman. Emma
That's
Frost now is Samara Weaving.
Travesty.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Kind of Funny podcast. Unless you support us on patreon.com/kindoffunny, where we're about to do a post show. Remember, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny, get your questions read, be part of the show, watch it ad free, watch it live as we record it, get it with the post show we are about to do. It's a good old time. Plus, you get shows like Greg Away exclusive over there, the only place to get them and all that jazz. If you have no bucks toss our way, though, no big deal. YouTube.com/kindoffunny, roosterteeth.com, and podcast services around the globe each and every week. Not day, just every week.
I got a real banger of a reveal for the post show.
Ooh, okay. There's a tease for
I
you.
also want to talk about how I used sulfuric acid yesterday.
No,
Okay.
you didn't.
I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.